From Kern Government Television, welcome to this week's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting, originating from the County Administrative Center located at 1115 Truxtun Avenue, Bakersfield, California. Kern County's vision is to create and maintain a customer-centered county government designed to garner the confidence, support, and trust of the people we serve. Today's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting will convene momentarily.
Board to reconvene. Madam Clerk, good afternoon. Would you please call the roll?
Supervisor Gleason.
Here.
Supervisor Scrivener.
Here.
Supervisor Maggard.
Here.
Supervisor Couch.
Here.
Supervisor Perez.
Here, thank you. And good afternoon to the public and viewers. County Council, would you please provide a report on action taken in closed session? Ms. Raizan.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. This morning in closed session, you met on items 25, 26, 27. Item number 28 had two separate items. You met on one of them. The other item was withdrawn, as was item 29. There is no reportable action.
Thank you very much, Ms. Raizan. Agendas for today's meetings are located at the tables at the back of the chamber for anyone wishing to follow along. We'll begin this afternoon with the consent agenda. All items listed with a capital C, capital A for consent agenda are considered to be routine and non-controversial by county staff. Consent items will be considered first and may be approved by one motion if no member of the board or public wishes to comment or ask questions. If a member of the audience wishes to comment or ask questions regarding an item or items on the consent agenda, they may do so prior to a vote being taken on the consent agenda. A member of the board may remove any item from the consent agenda, and it will be considered in its listed sequence, with an opportunity for any member of the public or the board to address this body concerning the item before action is taken. Consent matters begin on page 2, and they include items 3 and 4. On page 3, items 5 through 10. On page 4, items 11 through 16. On page 5, items 17 through 25. Are there members of the public that would like to comment on any of these items or provide some direction?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. My name is Bernard LeBeau.
Hi, Bernard.
And I represent the Zone 2 refuse haulers. And we would respectfully request that the board remove item number 9 from the consent agenda, which has to do with changing an ordinance regarding the administration fee that the county charges to the Kern County residents receiving refuse services. Again, the main reason we're asking for this request that it be not only withdrawn but also postponed to another meeting is that none of the haulers have had any chance to meet with the department and discuss the impact of this ordinance proposal or so. And we'd definitely like to be able to meet with them and give them our input. We consider ourselves, we hope to be a partner with the department rather than adversaries or so. And we think that we have things that we can contribute. And
very good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bernard. It sounds like we need to pull that matter and hear it in its regular order. So we're going to do that. And just sit tight and we'll get right to your matter. Are there any other members of the public? Sir, if you could please come down and provide your name and give us your input regarding a matter on consent before we take our vote. Thank you.
My name is Roger Oland, and I have the property directly across from the, on 70th Street West there in Rosamond. And I just wanted to connect to find out what they're planning on doing there. And we've had some problems around with vandalism and a squatter that was stealing our electricity, and I finally had to get him taken out of there. He wouldn't move on his on any of my demands, so I finally had to pay an attorney to get him out of there. But and it's kind of remote out there, which is good to have something else around in my mind. But I just wonder what it is that's going to be around. That's what my question is. I'm not against something being built there. I'm just questioning what's going to be built there and who is doing it and what their plans are.
Okay, just sit tight for a moment.
Okay.
Can I get some advice as to what's the best way to proceed here? I don't want to violate the law, but if we can address this person's concern. It's item number 3, I presume. So, County Council, your thoughts?
Madam Chair, can Ms. Oviatt just explain what the project, what the proposal is? Would that be? Seems like
Director
that would be
Oviatt?
sufficient.
Certainly, Supervisor Scrivener through the chair. Lorelei Oviatt, Kern County Planning Director. This is a zone change and precise development plan by John Jeffries. It is at the southeast corner of 70th Street West and Stetson Avenue, Rosamond. If we could show on the overhead, this is a piece of property down the street from the famous Willow Springs Raceway. The applicant has go-karts and other cars that he races and provides at Willow Springs. It is zoned OS, which is not really an appropriate zone. It's been OS for many, many years. And so he is doing a zone change to industrial, putting a storage building on it that is allowed by right. And there have been many concerns in the Rosamond area that it was going to be used to grow cannabis. We have verified that this applicant is a legitimate user of the Willow Springs Raceway, and we can't prevent someone from doing something illegal, but we do feel that this is a completely appropriate industrial use next to the Willow Springs Raceway.
That's very helpful. I hope that's addressed your concerns, sir.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I had a squatter that was a problem for all these years, had people vandalizing things, cutting the fence, cutting a hole in the back of the.
Right, nightmare. Thank you, sir. We really appreciate you being here, and I'm glad that you got some clarification. Director Oviatt, thank you for that, and thank you, Supervisor Scrivener. So moving along, are there any other members of the public who would like to comment on consent matters? If not, I'll entertain a motion from my colleagues.
Motion to approve the consent agenda with the exception of item 9.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Wonderful. Public presentations is a portion of the meeting reserved for persons to address the board on matters that are not on today's specific agenda, but under the jurisdiction of the Board of Supervisors. Speakers are limited to 2 minutes. Please state and spell your name before making your presentation. Mr. Fox, what a shocker. It's nice to see you.
Good afternoon, folks. I'm Dennis Fox. I've been coming to you with this intro to the article in the New Yorker. And as with the way I was trained and what I do, I find that things of interest are what's not there. Elvis likes it too. And what I was going to say is kind of the upshot in that article is they can't manage these forests for fires because of objections from other agencies. They go out there to find something wrong. That's their job. And if they're not finding stuff, they're not doing their job. So I have suggested, and I think you might want to have your legislative folks the 21st take a look at instead of having agencies being lead in forest management, have a private industry or company let them file a harvest plan. And they will be not looking for something to halt, they'll be looking for them. And I have made that proposal up north, you might get a kick out of it. And is this National Heart Month? Some of them almost had heart attacks, seriously. And they really did. But I'm serious, I think there's something to that, at least it'll bring it out. Can't lose. And the company I proposed is the Villain du Jour, who you had this morning, some of them. And it was the wonderful companies. I thought it would be wonderful. Some people disagree, but they have the power and they have intelligent people. And why not?
Thank you, Mr.
Nothing
Fox.
ventured, nothing gained. Thanks.
Thank you for always thinking. Appreciate you, Mr. Fox. Any other member of the public? Okay, return to the board for board member announcements or reports. Colleagues? Okay, we will move right along then to item number 9, which was removed from consent by a member of the public who has information he would like us to consider and think about. Are there other members of the public who would like to comment on this matter? Are there speakers here for this matter today? Okay, very good. Thank you. And we have staff that will present to us on item number 9, and the floor is yours. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Item number 9, if we can put it on the overhead. Solid Waste Administration Fee, otherwise known as the hauler admin fee. Originated in 2003, it deals with Section 5.36005 of the Ordinance Code regarding solid waste franchise requirements. The purpose of this fee is to pay for the administration of the hauler agreements. In other words, it is reimbursement back to county staff or county for the cost of processing all that they do. Calculation of the fee is really pretty simple. The expenses incurred by the county, and we have a very good cost accounting system that we track all our time with throughout all of Public Works. It's divided by the number of units, and units is the magic word here that has caused a great deal of confusion. Currently, and we'll talk more about units in a moment, currently the fee is 20 cents per unit per month. In other words, when the haulers charge for to pick up a bin, and they charge a monthly fee, it's say somewhere in the $25 range, 20 cents of it is remitted back to the county for admin of their contract. Funds generated over the year, about 200,000, not a whole lot. I can tell you that, for instance, my time is general admin for the county, so it isn't reflected here. We are changing how we're doing things, so the cost probably will be going up over 200,000 a year because I spend a great deal of my time on this topic. So what is the issue? In July 2019, it was brought to the attention of Public Works, the ordinance had inconsistent language, and they're absolutely right. The haulers brought forward a concern that at one point in the chart of expenses, it showed units, and one point it showed accounts. And that is two different things to the haulers. Whoever wrote that chart up, whether we're living with it, it didn't mean anything different, but it certainly does to the haulers. And it really affects primarily multifamily living units. For example, a 20-unit trailer park or apartment complex is one account to a hauler, but it could be 20 units to the tax roll. So that's really the difference in the words account versus units. So we decide on the units, going with units, and we're going to change the ordinance, or we recommend a change to the ordinance of 4 units to make everything consistent. But why units versus accounts? Land use fee is collected by units. Everything that we do in our world is by a dwelling unit. It's not by a group of dwelling units, it's per individual dwelling unit. Land use fee is collected by units. Solid waste collection rates that we go through the 218 process and establish new rates, it's all per unit. It's not per account of a bunch of units. And actually, this already covers 99% of the franchise hauler customers are already being accounted for as units. We didn't think it was that big a deal because most of it's already done this way. Anything that is universal collection, 100% universal collection, it's already described as units. It was different than what was done by the rural haulers, and that's where the confusion came up. Somewhere along the way, they ran down this one path where there was already a mixed path up here. So we're trying to straighten this out, trying to come up with consistent language. So really, we're talking about less than 1% of the accounts are called accounts instead of units. So we are affecting 1% out there. Because in the rural area, it's really only the multifamily, and they have an apartment complex with 20 units in it. They were paying on the account basis rather than unit basis. In other words, instead of multiplying 20 cents times 20 units, they're multiplying 20 cents times one account. So that's really the big difference, but it's not that many customers out there that we're talking about. Most of them are already covered under this scenario. So before the board today is a proposal, just to clarify this language, to amend and clarify County Ordinance Code 5.36.055, replace all references of accounts to units. The proposed amended ordinance also will remove the cap of the solid waste admin fee, which currently is set at 25 cents, and that's a little bit low probably. When we take our costs and divide it by the number of units, it'd probably be a little more than that. So if we had set it to accounts, which is what we had heard from some of the haulers, we still have the same amount of money to recoup, so it would be a bigger number for everybody else. If we have less numbers, less accounts than units, then we'd have a bigger number to charge everybody. This fee would go into effect not until July 1, when we go through the 218 process and attach it to all the hauler rates. This is not something that it doesn't cost them anything. It's added to the rate that they already charge. It's added there. They receive it and they just remit it back to us. So it's not something that's going to cost them anything more out of pocket. It's not something that's going to take effect until July 1 when the new fees go into place. We don't know what the final number is going to be yet. That'll be part of the 218 process that we do when we add it to their fees. So with that, I'll just ask if you have any questions about it and how I might be able to answer them.
Mr. Pope, thank you. Are there any questions at this time? I don't see anybody punched in just yet. Okay, so then I'll go to the public and ask if there are members of the public. I assume Bernard will come back to the podium, but if there are others, please come down and prepare to provide your expertise to this body. We would certainly appreciate that. If you want to take a seat in the front, we'd like to hear from you.
Right. We're not here to fight with the department today.
Your name, sir? Sorry.
Well, I'm sorry. It's Bernard LeBeau.
Thank you.
Madam Chairman. We'd just like the opportunity to discuss these things with the department, such as they're taking away the cap on the management fee. Have they, on the administration fee, have they considered just raising the cap rather than taking it away? I would think that would be a concern to the county taxpayers. The units and versus the properties, I think what it has now, that's an interesting thing. And again, we have maybe some concerns, but it's really the county's concerns over Proposition 218, if that's a proportionality requirement met. But I just think if we just like a chance to discuss this with the department, and so we'd like you to postpone consideration of this until a later board meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. LeBeau. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Jeff Martin. I'm Vice Chair of the Kern County Rural Haulers Association. The Kern County Rural Hauler Association is made up of 5 rural hauling companies that are all present today. We just asked if you would please continue this item so we would have the opportunity to sit with staff and discuss it and figure out the effects and get down to the brass tacks of it. Thank you.
Can I ask you a question, Mr.
Yes.
Martin? Have you reached out to the county staff and attempted to have such a conversation?
I did not know about this until a couple hours ago, so it was a little bit of a surprise to me.
Got it. Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the Board of Supervisors. Richard Zimmer on behalf of the Kern County Rural Haulers Association. The point I want to make is that I agree with all the comments that it's very important to maintain a good dialogue with this board and the county and the haulers because they serve a very important function in our community. It's I know that Mr. Pope, and with deference Mr. Pope, I know that he probably didn't mean it that way, but when you say that it's not really a big deal, I think to the people that are seated here, we have people from both the Rural Haulers Association as well as the cities, and it's obvious that this is a big issue. When you're talking about changing the caps and you're changing how the fees are calculated, that's that's critical to them, and I think that there really does need to be good communication between the county and those individuals and entities to make this work as it should work. And rather than being on the consent agenda, I think it would be better to have it heard by the board with all sides heard, rather than just assuming that it's going to be a consent item. So I think that the comments by the parties that spoke before me are well taken. I think they should be kicked over 30 days so there can be meaningful discussion, so they do feel like there's an invitation to have this, an invitation on both sides to have that important communication. And that's all the comments I have.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Zimmer.
you.
Any other members of the public would like to weigh in? Now would be the time to do so. Okay, seeing no more. Mr. Pope, can you comment on the request to continue this matter and to discuss it personally with you? Have there been attempts to discuss this issue? Did folks reach out to you? What are your thoughts on that?
Madam Chair, if that's the preference of the board, we'd be glad to sit down with the hauler groups and work through exactly what it means to each individual.
Oh, well, there it is. I think that's very helpful, and that's what I'm hearing is being requested. Colleagues, any input from you? Supervisor Maggard and then Supervisor Couch.
Thank you. I agree that that we should have some dialogue so the industry and the department can see if they can come to a meeting of the minds about this. Mr. Pope, did you reach out to either of the associations to gather their input before this was placed on consent?
Through the chair to Supervisor Maggard, no, they're actually the party that brought it forward to us as a concern. We thought we were just dealing with their concerns.
Well, I think it's much more prudent of us to not assume that it is routine and non-controversial unless we have had that conversation to make sure. So I will move that does it require a motion for us to remove it and for it to be continued? You have to have language in a motion to continue it to a date certain? And what would that date certain be? That would be, Mr. Pope, do you think a month is fine?
It should be satisfactory.
Can I jump in? Yeah.
So what date, Madam Clerk?
The 10th, I believe. The 3rd.
Thank you, Mr. Maggard. The board meets on
We're not-
February 25th and March
dark.
10th.
Yeah, we're dark on the 3rd.
So I would move that we continue this item to March the 10th. And hopefully we can have some meaningful dialogue and you guys can come to a meeting of the minds.
Second
Thank you.
that.
Thank you, Supervisor. We have a motion and a second. However, I did see Supervisor Couch, you had punched in. Okay. We have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Wonderful. Motion carries. Best of luck in your discussions. And Mr. Pope, thank you. That does bring us to the end of our agenda this afternoon. And we are prepared to adjourn at this time to return on February, is it 11th? To return on February 11th.
Motion to
Nick?
adjourn?
Oh, thank you, Supervisor Scrivener. Without objection, so ordered.